Yo, what's good? If you're new, subscribe. Join the Resilient Legion. We have 32 subscribers. We're trying to get to 100. Okay, we're gonna be dropping fitness content, workouts, mental health, bro, everything under the sun you can think of. Bible verses and explanation, bro. So drop down below and give me a subscribe right now. Give me a like, comment. Let's get into the video. Today marks 3 weeks. Really Sunday, but today marks 4 weeks, really. It's been a month on SR. It's been hard as fuck. Not really hard, but it's been a challenge. You have all this energy, all this new energy. But I think for me, I don't know why, I feel like I have more than the average population. I think you guys do. If you're watching this and you attracted this video, you probably do too. And you're feeling a lot of energy. You're feeling a lot of karmic energy, I think, people who go on Semen Rentenion and people who find this type of content are in a higher level of consciousness, right? To say that their awareness is higher so they can really understand the energy and where it's at. They can understand that it always not constantly, but sometimes on these days where it's high energy, it feels like you have to squeeze in every single ounce of focus for your mind not to just fall apart, for your mind not to become fucking jelly, and then you just relax. But I haven't been feeling like relapsing. I've been just feeling it. That thought of relapsing hasn't even crossed. It has crossed, but it hasn't crossed. I think for people who are new to SR, you have to understand everything comes from the mental plane. Everything. The mental is the cause and the physical is the effect. So when you think about relapsing or you look at a woman in lustful intent, you're committing adultery. You're committing sexual immorality in your mind. Right? And you have to understand that those things, they build up over time. So you have to be vigilant, not only physically, but within your mind. So you're able not to have those, not have those thoughts, but be aware of the thoughts and transmute them into other things, like your work, school, sports, right? You can't not go back. When you're on this journey, you're breaking karmic cycles. You're entering a season of spiritual purity. When you purify your spirit, you're able to experience life on a higher degree. So you're going to experience urges because you're deprogramming your brain to always want a stimulus, always want instant gratification. And when you do that, you're going to become successful. You're going to become disciplined. You're going to become vigilant because you're going to be able to control your thoughts, your body, and your mind in a certain nature that 99% of people will not be able to do and will not do it because they're too afraid to go the extra mile. Right? You have to go that extra 5%. And this is not just in the gym. This is not just in work and school. This is in life. You have to go that extra 5%. You have to dial shit in when you feel like everything's crumbling around you. Because you have to understand, if you're at school right now, if you're at work, these people are not going to be with you when you're alone. All that ego validation, all the shit that you might think about when you see other people and other people see you, that shit is all vanity. That shit does not matter. Because they're not going to be with you when you're grinding alone. When you're at the crib alone after work. When you're at school in the dorm alone after. Right? And you don't want anyone around you because you don't want anyone to disturb your purpose, disturb your goals. If you want to make something happen for yourself, you have to be able to suffer. And I'm not saying be a fucking monk. I'm not saying be a nomad. Not nomad. I'm not saying be a hermit, right? I'm not saying do that. I'm saying you have to understand that you have to be alone for a certain amount of time for you to be secure within yourself enough to open up yourself to other people. You have to go through that process of not just securing yourself, but also reprogramming your mind to accept other people, even if they're causing you some type of pain or discomfort. Right? You have to be secure within yourself. You have to learn how to love yourself. And a lot of people, me, as a lot of people, I go into cycles of thought patterns which are self-destructive, right? Self-sabotaging. Because I want to feel like the victim. I want to feel like I did nothing wrong. And this could be something outside of my control that I'm allowing into my consciousness because I feel like I need someone to vent to. And it's my own fucking body. My boy, when you're thinking like that and you're thinking in a sense which is negative, you're fucking up your own body. Your body holds onto that and it creates illnesses, it creates diseases, it creates, right, that weird feeling, maybe awkwardness. So, the message of today, is to understand your thought process and control it. As a man, thinketh, so is he. That's been going through my mind the whole day. And that's what it really is. As you think you are, you have to know what that really means. You cannot be unaware of what you're thinking. Right? And one other tip is if you're feeling bad, you're probably thinking bad subconsciously and you're not aware. You probably are not aligned. Everything that you feel negatively means that you're probably just not aligned with what you're doing, with your purpose. And you might have relapsed the day before, you might have not. But you have to center yourself. And the more you center yourself within you, the more peace you will find. The more love you will find. The more acceptance for yourself and what you're doing you will find. You cannot find that externally, bro. You may try to. And I would say go try to. Because once you do, you'll realize that there was nothing there to begin with. So that wraps up the session for today. Hope you enjoyed it. I hope that you got something out of it. If you did, like, comment, and subscribe. If you want any consultations, any free consultations, you can set up a call with me in my calendar in the bio below. I'll see you boys later.